Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be going through and doing episode number 42 of I Build Your Teams, the series where I build my viewer squads into the best teams possible for my team showdown or whatever you might be playing. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. First team today comes in from Japes, I think is how that's pronounced. 230,000 MT. What would I change? Well, I will tell you this first and foremost. I look at this team and my immediate thought is, how can we make a little bit more MT? Because 230k MT isn't really a lot to work with, and the immediate answer is pretty obvious. Selling Kareem is probably going to be your best way to make a pretty good chunk of MT. And the reason that I think that would be easily doable as well with this team is you could just slide to committee or 5, start Tim Duncan, bring Ben Wallace off the bench. You are chilling. I know you won't have incredibly amazing size at the power forward position at that point, but I do think as a whole, that's going to save you 300,000-400,000 MT, depending how souped that Kareem is. And I mean, that's easy MT right there. Not to mention, I do believe Clay probably should be somewhere in your 10-man rotation. I think he's better than both Kawhi and Peja by a small margin, in my personal opinion. So I would also personally consider adding Clay back into the lineup here, but I would personally sell Kareem. I do think as a whole, you probably won't regret it if you do move Kareem. And I just think when you have a guy like Ben Wallace who can fill that spot, you're going to be just fine, even if you do sell Reem. So again, that's just my opinion, but yeah. Second team today comes in from John. He's only got 13,000 MT. Same question here immediately is presented. How do I make MT to be able to have the flexibility to actually upgrade the team? The only sellable card you have is Paulo Banchero, and unless Paulo is your favorite player in the world, you probably need to sell him, because you can get a small forward who can compete for a lot cheaper than Paulo Banchero. You know what I mean? And I don't know exactly how much Paulo's going for. In fact, I'm going to look it up right now because I do want to make sure I'm relatively accurate with my estimations. But it looks like he's 800,000 MT. You sell Paulo for 800k, and then you spend, how much is Luol Deng right now? 150? Yeah, 150k. You're gonna have after tax, I don't know, 700k off Paulo, 150, 550 to 600,000 MT left over. After you do that, you can have Luol and Giannis as your small forwards, and that provides so much flexibility after that, because then, I mean, I would still probably work towards like a Josh Giddey from the event maybe, or a Peja Stojakovic, one of the two, to upgrade either your shooting guard or your point guard position. I think that would be nice and helpful. But with 550k MT, you're so much more better positioned for future content because you have the ability to add impact, dark matters, and things like that to your rotation. So I would sell Paulo with this squad, add Luol Deng. That's going to give you a lot more MT flexibility going forward. Third team today comes in from Sebastian. He's got 830,000 MT, does not know what to do next. He's got Giddey and Kid. I honestly legitimately did not mean to say Kitty. My bad. Dark Matter, Brandon Roy, Pink Diamond, Jabari, Beasley, and Nick Young I don't know about. Tim Duncan's great. Joakim, I'm not sure. Klingon and Roy Hibbert is fine. I'm looking at this team. I feel like your small forward position is definitely a weakest position. Backup power forward isn't ideal. I don't know how many more event pieces you're going to be able to get, but if you can get enough event pieces to add Peja to this team, that'd be nice, because that'll just make your shooting guard position, I think, really high level. He'd be a nice impact guy. Honestly, I might even play him at small forward, though, to be totally honest. With this team, 6'10", I might put Peja at small forward, run Peja and Beasley as your small forwards, take Nick Young out of the lineup. That could be a nice option. And then also, I mean, you could always sell that Beasley and upgrade to a Luol Deng or an Andre Karolinko, or even a Dark Matter Beasley, or something like that would be an option as well. But I would run Peja and either Pink Diamond Beasley or an upgrade one of those Dark Matter small forwards as your small forwards. To replace Joakim Noah, I don't think it's a necessity right now to get him like out of your lineup, but he's also a card that I personally would be looking to see if there are cards that I can replace him with soon. Keep an eye on cards, look around. Maybe Dikembe's price drops for now. I don't know if I justify paying 450,000 MT at a very minimum for a Dikembe. That feels like a little bit expensive. He's really going for about 500k even base, so I don't know if I would recommend paying for him right now, but he is probably gonna be the best option. So maybe you hold on your power forward and center positions right now, and then just work on upgrading the small forward position and wait and see what drops over the next week or two, because there could be some really impactful power forward center upgrades that you can make soon. But as of right now, those guys are a little bit too expensive in my personal opinion, mainly just because we didn't get a lot of good bigs in the out of position content, which I think has maintained the price of some of these really good dark matter bigs as higher than you would think. Wimby's burner has got 260,000 MT. Imagine if this was actually a Wimby's burner. Looking at this team, Amen Thompson has got to get sold, and honestly, so does Manu. You just need the MT. You don't have a ton of MT for 260k. Selling Amen and Manu will get you over 500k. Like, that is where you want to be, because then you have flexibility. Your point guard position is still fine. Your shooting guard position is still fine. Yeah, you need to fill the small forward hole, but you can fill that with Luol Deng or Andre Kirilenko and still have 400-ish thousand MT left over. Tim Duncan and Joel Embiid is fine. Wemby and D-Rob really is fine too. You could easily slot a Pink Diamond Klingon in here somewhere to one of your big men spots as well. If you need a little more size, I'd probably have him in your last three anyway. You could always, again, take advantage of these festival events to make a little bit of MT and stuff. Like, if you want to make a little more MT with the rest of your pieces after that, which is probably what I'm going to be doing this week, to be totally honest, with my leftover pieces. After I add my last, I might get Josh Giddey today, and then I think I'm from there going to exchange the rest of my festival pieces for MT, which I know it's not nearly as much MT as it used to be, but I think with this team, you got to sell him and sell Manu and get somebody to actually play small forward for you, unless you really like Amen. If you're a big Amen guy, alternate option: Giddey, Amen, Peja, and then off the bench you have J-Kid, B-Roy, and Beasley. If you're a big Amen guy, slide him to your 2 and start Peja at the 3, because that'll provide you with more size. So that is an alternate option as well if you don't want to replace your small forward, you just want to move your lineup around. I think that might be a great way to do it as well. But I would definitely sell Manu, try to make some MT profit, and then maybe add Klingon as well to this rotation. I think he would be a helpful card. This team is from Nick Stenholt. He's got 4 million MT, says he hates Chris Webber. He wants Denny in his squad. Well, if you want Denny, just throw him as your backup point guard. And then you can have Kid in your last 3. 4 million MT is a lot of MT, but this team's basically all unsellable besides Michael Beasley, who I'm not really going to recommend selling. So, look, 4 million is plenty to replace Chris Webber, but I don't understand why you hate the card. His jumper is inconsistent. I get it. He's 6'10 with a super fast jump shot and extraordinarily elite defensively, and as a slasher with legitimately good movement. Just my opinion, I would keep him. Use him as more of a slasher, use him as more of a defender. Don't force him to be your scorer if you don't feel comfortable with him. I know the jumper can be annoying, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you to replace 100 overall Chris Webber. I wish I had him. I would love to have him in my lineup. I know he has his flaws. I know the jumper can be a little inconsistent. I think he's an absolute dog, and I wouldn't give up on that card, in my personal opinion. I just think the skill set he provides is extremely valuable, even with what is at times an inconsistent jump shot. And then finally, Pods fans got 700,000 MT. He's got a no money spent squad, and not a terrible no money spent squad either, although I will say there are some cards here who I don't love, like J.R. Smith, not a big fan. MPJ, not ideal. Bol looks like sellable, and I would absolutely sell him. A easy swap right here. Sell Bol, buy Dikembe Mutombo. Obviously, Dikembe is more expensive, no doubt about it, but Bol is going to get you some of that MT back. I mean, that's a card you can definitely sell for 200,000 MT plus, and then maybe you buy Dikembe for 4 something. Maybe it might cost you 200 to 300,000 MT to do it, but if you still have around 500k left, I think that's a very worthwhile swap. And plus, Mutombo's probably going to hold his value pretty well because he's a 7'2" dude with an incredible jumper, and obviously incredible defense and stuff. If you could add Josh Giddey to this team as well, definitely wouldn't hurt. Like, I think if you had Giddey and Ricochet as your point guards instead of Ricochet and JR, that would be really nice. So I would recommend that. And then I do think MPJ could also be upgraded upon as well. If you want to spend the MT, that's up to you to pick up a Dark Matter. You have the MT to do so. If not, could pick up more of a budget card. Even like a budget Dark Matter, like an Alex English as like a fill-in, could definitely be a good option as well. So that's a guy you could potentially consider picking up for your small forward position, who's going to be a pretty darn affordable Dark Matter and a very solid card in his own right. So that is a suggestion there for that final team as well. But hopefully this is helpful, and hopefully y'all do enjoy this video and this episode. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.